Hello and welcome. I'm your host Lizabar, and we're going to talk about this story about Halo Infinite. I haven't really been following Halo Infinite's news. The last Halo game I played was probably Halo 2, or maybe the Master Chief Collection's version of Halo 1, because I don't think I'd ever played Halo 1 before. And that was like 10 years ago. That was a long time ago. So just read the headline: Halo Infinite campaign missions cannot be replayed on same save file. Now think about your typical first-person shooter. Let's go with Fear 2. Maybe that's not a typical shooter, but that's one I'm very familiar with. I've played Fear 2 many times. And absolutely, in Fear 2, after you beat something, you can replay it. It's right there on the menu. No need to restart a new save file. Apparently that's not the case with Halo Infinite. And so I started thinking, that seems like a regression in technology. Now I'm trying to remember, like when I played Halo 2, if we could replay from the same save file. And honestly, I don't think we even looked to try. Like, I think we just jumped in, played through the campaign, and eventually beat it. And that was that. I did that at my friend's house. Well, other first person shooters, I know from experience, have the ability to let you replay a story mission. Now, notice the key word. They say campaign missions, I say story missions. I mean the same thing. Look at that key word. That suggests that there's other kinds of missions. And apparently there are. Unlike previous entries in the series, the game's campaign is more akin to the open world than a linear adventure. So you can take stuff and go do it outside of story missions. This sounds a lot more like Saints Row 3 or Grand Theft Auto, a game like that. And in those kinds of games, you don't typically redo the same mission again. You usually don't even have the option to go redo the same mission. It's a story mission. You do it one time, you move on to the next story. That was a clap. I apologize. Clap warning. I just clapped. So that seems like the real controversy to me is that that is not the game people wanted. I think people wanted a straightforward shooter, and instead they're getting an open world campaign that has shooter mechanics. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but I kind of feel like that's what's really going on here. Is people wanted just another linear shooter. Let's do this stage, this stage, this stage in order, and instead they got like an experience that was tutti frutti instead. You can just go through the story missions, but there's also all this other stuff to do. And in that kind of framework, redoing the story missions is not actually something that the game genre that it's sitting in really supports. Interesting stuff. I'm glad I found this article and I dipped into it because I saw that headline and I was just very confused. Like, really? What kind of first person shooter doesn't let you replay missions? And it turns out that it's not really a first person shooter, you know? If it's something more like Grand Theft Auto 3 or something more like, man, I already went through this discussion. I'm just going to shut up. You all have a great day. But you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like, if it's that kind of game, once you've worked for Don whoever and you go to the next contact, you generally don't go back and work for that same guy again. Unless there's like some kind of repeatable mission that was built into the game, like let's go rob a bank or something like that in Minecraft, then you don't repeat the content. You go do new things, new exciting things. Bye bye.